Hi, welcome back to Social Worker Saga. This is week 2 in the story of Suzy the Social Worker, who's working with the Barnes family. So this video is going to be just a quick rundown of what happened in that week, and then you'll see that there's another video up which is going through all of the documentation that she wrote about what she got up to this week. So let's quickly get through the story and then you can get on to the rest of it. Suzy came into her office on the Monday, keen to get to work supporting the children and families in her area. No Monday blues for Suzy. Well, not after she's had her coffee. All right, her third coffee. Anyway, she got on to trying to contact Mike to arrange to speak to him. No answer, so she sent a text message. Eventually she did hear back and arranged to see him on the Friday. She then started planning the direct work she'd be doing with Johnny and Tara. She wanted this direct work to help her build a relationship with them while getting to know a bit more about their experiences living at their home. She knew they were interested in dinosaurs and unicorns, so she set about adapting some of her standard tools to match their interests. The 3 houses tool became the 3 dinos. That's Warriosaurus, Partydactyl and Brontosnooze, to replace the House of Worries, the House of Good Things and the House of Dreams. She made a unicorn-based version of the Faces sheet to use with Tara, and she then created a clean version of the genogram without her notes or the lines to mark relationships to use as a direct work tool with Lucy and Mike. She had a basic one she'd created last week, but that didn't give very much information. Filling out the genogram with both of them would enable Suzy to ask about family history so she could better understand each parent's background and upbringing. It would enable her to see if there were any major differences in the parents' versions of how their relationship developed as well. Suzy undertook a home visit to Lucy on the Wednesday without the children present. This was so that she could go over the family history with Lucy without the kids interrupting them, and so that Lucy could feel free to discuss anything that maybe she didn't want to say in front of the children. Suzy came away with a lot of history about Lucy's family and a pretty thorough genogram looking back at them. The next day, Suzy returned to the family home to do some direct work with the children. She took the sheets she'd prepared and sat with them to do some colouring and have a chat. The children appeared reasonably happy and seemed willing to engage with her, even telling her some things about their dad which suggested that they hadn't been coached to stay quiet. This meant that Suzy felt confident that they were being open with her. Johnny had said that he'd heard from his dad, which made Suzy a bit worried, so she went and spoke to Lucy after meeting the children. Lucy acknowledged that she'd got a video sent through from Mike and she'd shown it to the children. She didn't think it was against the rules since no one had told her that specifically. Suzy had a long chat with Lucy about why it's important to do things a certain way, even if it didn't always make sense right now. This included no contact with or from Mike until things with the police are sorted. Lucy said that she understood, but Suzy was a bit concerned. Back in the office, Suzy had a chat with her manager, Jenny, about Mike having contacted the children. Jenny said that she didn't think that this reached threshold for Section 47 by itself, but to let the police know. Suzy contacted the police, but as there were no threats, they wouldn't take action unless Lucy complained of harassment. Suzy met Mike in her office on Friday and started to go over his history and everything that had happened. Mike mentioned he'd had a little sister who had died when she was young, and a family life which had then fallen apart. He seemed to normalise his parents drinking and fighting and became a bit agitated when Suzy asked about the connection to his sister's death. Eventually, Suzy had to end the session earlier than expected because Mike was getting rather emotional and agitated. Suzy finished the week by updating the case notes on the system, the genogram based on the conversations that she'd had with Lucy and Mike, and she started doing a draft chronology using that same information. After that, she packed up her things and went for a massage because Suzy's very big on self-care.